Hi, everyone. This is Vera Sompon, and I'm the Managing Director of Sompon Social Service. And of course, I have diverse businesses also in Germany and in Africa. And that's why I like talking about business because I think that we are created for that very purpose also to show forward in our different businesses. And but in the process of doing businesses, I've met many people, young people, old people, and most people have this very problem. And the problem is they believe that it is practically impossible to start up a business without personal money or capital, right? And so in our conversation today, I am going to be giving you my specific strategies and my favorite strategies to be able to start up your own business without your personal money, or again, maybe without any money. Good, a good conversation. Then stay tuned and we'll continue the conversation. Hey, thank you. You're welcome back. You're welcome back. Like I said, my name is Vera Sompon, and I am a serial entrepreneur. We have diverse businesses, and both in Germany and as well in Africa. And today, I'm going to be talking you or showing you the different ways that you can start up your own business without having your personal cash or your personal money, or again, even without any need for money. Is that possible? Yes, of course. In my 12 years of doing business, I encountered many people. I also invest in young people back home. And I discovered that most of the time, many people wanted to do business. They want to do business. They are really passionate, but something is missing and holding them back. And they kept saying lack of money. Money was the problem. And so today we want to talk about that. It's really the lack of money, the problem or a reason enough for us not to start up a business? And if that be, how can we overcome that so that despite the fact that we do not have personal money, that we can still do our own business? And of course, I'm going to be giving you a few strategies that I have used and I have seen the people around me also use to start up businesses, and they are multi-million, billion um, wealth owners today, and they started also practically with little or no money on their own. Okay, now these are my three starting points. I would like us to first of all find out and to define what a business. We understand that a business could be a product or again a service that we're offering. Why? To meet the need of other people. Remember, the focus here is not you, it is other people. And therefore, if other people is the focus of your business, then for sure already you have a step ahead for any business you're going to do. Now, it is important that we also clarify some few points and some few things before we get into the conversation of money. Another thing to clarify would be to find out exactly the purpose of that your business, the why you're doing your business. Now, if you're doing your business for the sole purpose of just wanting to get the money, it may be a little difficult and challenging because you know what? People do not even like you. They like what you produce and what you're doing. So it's never again about you, but about the people. So again, the people coming to buy from you will have to ask the question, why buy from you and not from the other person, right? And this means that some things we have to work them out, some characters some behaviors, some attitude will have to be worked upon so that we can be able to attract the kind of people that can trust us so we can do business with them, right? So, as a resume, the first thing when you're starting up, understand that business is a product or a service for what? To meet the needs and add value for other people, meet their needs and not your needs. Okay, so it's not about you, but about other people. So take away the focus from you and place on other people. Yes, yes, good, thank you. Now, if you have taken away the focus from other people, then the second most important will be to understand why you're doing that business and that specific business that you are doing. Good, good. Now that you know why your business or the business, why you're doing the business, you know the business is not about you. The business is bringing and solving a problem in the community. Now, this is time for you to start thinking about the money, right? Good. Let me give you the tricks and the tips on how to be able to do your business without your personal money. Two ways are possible. One, you get people's money involved. So, which means that you get investors, right? Now, if you get investors, that will mean that mm, you're going to come to Vera Sompon and present and pitch your projects to her. You're going to pitch your project to Mr. Sompon, or you're going to pitch up your project to someone who is having the money, right? And this means that that idea must be very packed with skills, or again an invention, or an intellectual property, or again something really spectacular, so that that person will say, oh wow, I want to invest in this person, right? Another possibility would be to do a crowdfunding. Many of us sit on the Facebook and we just keep watching other people doing amazing stuff on the Facebook, and we forget that we're all here to also do amazing and great stuff, right? So you can start up a crowdfunding. A crowdfunding is the easiest way also to be able to start up your own project. So it means that you're going to write about your project, how it meets the needs of the people, and then you're going to send it out. And of course it takes work, right? Now every day you're gonna sit there to write every people, your friends, your classmates, your old mates, your tutors, your colleagues, people you do not know. You send them the information with a nice text on it, not just send a crowdfunding, no, with a nice text on it explaining how important it will be for us, for them also to invest in that venture, right? And when you do that, there's a high possibility that investors are going to join. Another common way that you can start up your own business without having money is to pre-sell. Your customers practically fund your business for you. Yes, yes. Is that possible? Yes. Doable? Yes. Let's take a scenario. Now I want to start up. This is common with businesses where you have to have something to sell, right? So now let's take, for example, um, the Thermomix. Well, I sell Thermomix now, so that's why I'm taking the example of the Thermomix. Let's take the Thermomix, right? And now I have a Thermomix. I want to sell Thermomix, and rather than buy all the Thermomix and put in my shop and wait for people to come by, what I do is I tell people about Thermomix. I teach people the importance of Thermomix. I talk about Thermomix to the people, and then I inform those people. The more people who knows about the Thermomix that I'm using are interested, they see their value in it, they want to have it. Now, what I do is I ask them to pre-order. So I give them the price that they're going to order their product. And now I'm going to have the money from them. If they're very interested, of course, you're going to add a little thing on it again so that you can be able to get your product and then you get your gains, right? So, and this is common and this is almost everywhere. This is also done in books. For those who write books, many people don't produce a book without really having pre-sold. Most of the good authors pre-sell their books before it ever comes out. So what happened is they sell the books is not yet out, the book is not yet out, but the book is almost ready and it's there. So they have negotiated with the authors, they have negotiated with people who are going to the publishers, they have negotiated with everybody, and the book is practically ready to be sent out to be sold, right? And so what happened is this: when people pre-order this, they buy the books, then what happened? You give them 1 week, 2 weeks to get their books. And this period of 1 week, 2 weeks is a period of production. And this also applies to any business. This can apply to any business. So I'm seeing you sharing that. See, you're welcome. Have a night. I hope you're doing well, ma'am. Now that I see Sharon Darcy, let me take the example of Sharon Darcy's product. So Sharon Darcy has hair product, and instead for her to produce the product and wait for customers to buy, no, she goes, she does the marketing, she explains the beauty of the product, why the product is so important, and people start observing, noticing the importance, the value this product is bringing to them. Or again, my services from the Sompon services, the value it brings to the people, and you package them. And so when people order, you ask the people to order and tell them on a specific day they're going to get all their product, their orders, right? So these people order the order, and then you ship that to them on that day. Hey, practically, you've used the money of the customer to produce your product. I don't know if you got it. If you did not get it, just send your questions and we're going to continue with that, right? Now, remember, to do business is the best thing that you should ever do for yourself, for your family, for the legacy. And business is in diverse ways. And many people are really afraid to do business because they are afraid, where do I get money? Now, it takes me to my three most important principles. But before I get to my three most important principles, I want to share you the story of my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law is one of those really, 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 really big guys in Cameroon. Many people know him as Santa Lucia. This guy, when he was broke, he came to Germany. And when he arrived in Germany, I saw with my eyes how Santa Lucia began to grow. When he came, he was really down. And so what happened was he left us from Germany. After he bought some few stuff for himself, he went to China. What did he do? He met someone who, what did that person do? Offered to give him product. He didn't have to buy those products. He didn't have to pay for those products. But that only happened because of character, attitude. So it was possible because of trust. This man did not even know my brother-in-law that much, but somehow it just happened, right? They say some people are just very lucky. Maybe some people are just favored. Maybe some people are just, yeah, some people are just lucky. Maybe, let's put it there, lucky. But luck does not really just happen. I don't believe in luck. I believe in preparations. When you prepare, the universe have a way to bring all these things together and in your favor, right? So this my brother-in-law, while in China, he encountered this man who gave him product worth millions, right? And he arrived. That was how he began his first Santa Lucia. And that's what today we can't talk about we can't talk and come on without mentioning Santa Lucia. Why? Because he's producing amazing stuff, right? So he started practically with no money and someone gave him the product, right? So, but for you to get to that point, some things you must have in you. Question: are you willing to learn those things? Are you willing to learn those principles? And these are my three principles that will take you anywhere. The three principles that has worked in time past, the three principles that has helped me build my own businesses. When I talk about my own businesses, I remember when we started with the student hostels. Uh, I just laughed today because we had the vision, but we didn't have the cash. But the right people were around. When I look back at the things that we built and even the homes that we bought here, I wonder if it was possible if we maybe even had the money, right? So I don't know, because it really had to happen this way so that I can be able to tell you today that, hey, you can really do business if these three principles are really in your life and if you follow them or maintain them. Three principles that works any day, anytime. Principle number one, easy but hard to do. You want to hear it? Yes, thank you. Ask and you shall receive. Ask and you shall receive. Gertrude, you're welcome. Il said, je regarde sans très bien comprendre. Don't worry, we're going to connect again and then you're going to understand. Joyce Yaman, you're welcome. You have to ask the question again, Joyce. What was the question? What do you want me to explain again? So I can explain that again. Okay. Now, before I come to you, Joyce, maybe you're going to write your specific question, but let me give you the three principles that works any day, anytime, anyhow. If only you will apply it, right? Marshall Goldsmith is one of my coaches, and he says that the easy things are not really easy to do, and that is true, right? So, and one of these principles that I have seen with time past that is so easy, but not easy to do, is this principle number one: ask and you shall receive. Oh, yes, yes. Ask and you shall receive. Each time the process of asking is activated, or each time you ask, then there is a process of receiving that has been activated. Anyhow, take note of this. Each time you ask, be sure that there is a process of receiving that has been activated. Now, I want to encourage you who is out there listening to me and you feel like asking makes you small. That's just your mindset. Let me encourage you. We all ask. We all ask. And I say most of the time we all beg. We beg in diverse ways. We ask in diverse ways. Now, when I write project, and I'm writing on behalf of some people that I want to help, for example, and these people are migrants and can't talk for themselves. They need help, they need support and all that. And they can't pay me, for example, right? And now I have to write a project so that I don't have to ask money from them and I can be able to still do my job for them. Okay. Now, what do? I write a project. What do you think writing this project is? I'm writing the project to beg for money, to ask for money, right? So we all ask and we all beg in one way or the other. So do not be shy to ask and do not be shy to beg. There are only different categories of begging. The one who is on the street begs, that is true. But you know what? Even our presidents, they beg. They only beg in grand style. Okay? So, and me too, I beg. So you have the right to beg and therefore ask. But now I want to give you a few tips. When you ask, and each time you ask smartly. What does this mean to ask smartly? Be specific. Be timely. Let the purpose for which you ask also be measurable. The thing for which you're asking, whatever you're asking, let it be measurable. Ask smartly means be specific. Now, when you want to start up a business of You can help me, Joyce. I want to start up a business of selling chicken, right? Then you must be specific. I want 5,000 euros because in this 5,000 euros, 100 euros is for the chicken seed, 200 euros is for the bread seed, and all that. It must be very specific. I need 1,000 euros to do this farming business. And in this 1,000 euros, I'm going to purchase a farm for 500 euros. I'm going to buy seeds for 200 euros. I'm going to take transportation that will take me from one place or other to network with the people, to inform the people, and all that, right? So be very, very specific. If you're not specific, you will not even get, right? This applies even to the spiritual rules, right? You don't just pray amiss and hope that you get something. It's not magic. We're not here like magicians. It's not magic. You have to be specific. And when you are specific, you build trust. You build confidence, and people would want to trust you more because then we know you know exactly what you want. Okay, so be very specific in your asking. Don't just um ask, like I know many people will ask in a diplomatic way, ton like we say. They want something from you, but they will not come straight to the point to say, I want this, I need this. They will start beating around the bush and want you to imagine that they will want you should know what they want. No, it's not being smart. I will never know because I'm not a magician, and so are many other people out there. No one is a magician to know what you need, right? So be specific in your asking. And then another tip for you: when you ask, please do not put your asking only on one person that you know and you think and believe this one person must give you that particular thing that you are asking for. It may cause some friction. Okay, so it will be good if you have a list of every day 10 different people that you're asking. It is a ratio of 10:1. When you ask from 10 people, you activate the giving process from one person. That's usually the ratio. So it means that if you really want something, you want to start up your business, you want to do something, after you've written down your programs and everything, then you have to really make sure you go to work, write down the names of the people, the companies, and whatever you want to write to them, you want to collaborate with them, and tell them about that program, right? Or tell them about that business. Be sure when you talk to 10 people, one person will accept, which means that if you want to sell a product for 300 people, we can do a rough calculation here. How many people should you talk to, right? So this is how you should work in relationship with asking, and be sure that if you do that, you're going to receive what you're looking for. Now, principle number two, Joyce, I'm going to come back to your question, and your question is how the customer is the one who invests in your business. This is a very interesting one. I'm going to come back with it, Joyce, so stay tuned and keep listening. Let me finish with the three principles that can really help us, especially in times of need, and even when we have enough, because we are always needing these three principles in our lives. Principle number two is your network, is your net worth. If you know me by now, you know that I dream, I think, I speak, and I emphasize on the power of relationships, right? And this is so, so important. We have built, we started our first um hostel, which is about 30 something rooms. We built it because of the good networks that we had, the kind of people we surrounded ourselves with, right? We have lands that people have offered us for free as per se to gift us, giving us the gift of land. Okay. And so it's only possible because of the kind of people you surround yourself with, right? So if, my fellow people, if you use money to buy everything, then you are the most miserable person of the whole world, or the whole the earth, right? If you need money to buy everything, then it's finished for you, right? Because some things money should not buy. Okay. Now, when I say some things money should not buy, um, we have we know this. For those who are in Cameroon, in Africa, you know the style of contributing. When you contribute and put money on the basket for one person, and the person used that for business, right? We call that in Cameroon jangi, and for other countries it's different names. Now, how do you start jangis if the people are not reliable, and if you don't have good people? How do you even start? How do I even back you up if I'm in Anjangi and we have lot of possibilities there, and you want to come in there? How do I back you up if I do not have a good relationship with you? So you see, relationship is your A and it's your Amen. Work on your relationships. You can't be any better without people. By the way, where does money come from? Don't tell me that it comes from heaven, from God, okay? From people. People give you money. And therefore, the more reason why we should have good relationships with people, so that they really have good reasons to invest in our lives with their monies, right? And of course, this takes me to the last principle that really works, is focus on the needs of others and not on yours. This is a big one, and many people, and I know it's easy, but for many people, it's practically a taboo. They can't say a word without mentioning me and me and me, myself and me. Everything is about them. Every story is about them. Every food is about them. Everything they do is about them. Hey, you're not the most important. Your customers don't even care. Your customers don't even care how you do, or your clients. For them, it is them that are the most important. And therefore, if you really want to make business, even without money, make sure that you concentrate and focus on other people, their needs, rather than your needs. So, a summary for the three principles when you have really no money: one, ask. Activate the principle of asking and you shall receive. Under asking and you shall receive, is so important that you'll be able to act smartly. Act smartly means that you should be specific. You should know exactly why, when, what is happening, what you want to buy. Be so precise so that someone can trust you with their money. And of course, also still in asking, it's going to be important for you to ask at least 10 persons a day, knowing that from 10 persons, one person can offer you what you have asked. And then the second point is relationship building. Build solid relationships. Be purposeful in your relationships. Do not just get into groups because you want to get into groups. Be specific, be purposeful. Get out of groups if you want to get out, if they are not bringing you anything. We're all here for a specific purpose and time, and you don't want to die still carrying lots of stuff in you that you would have made good use of or impact in the lives of people, but somehow because of fear you stay there unmoved, right? So create the good network. Be purposeful. Be courageous to create those good relationships. It takes courage, but it also takes self-development. And then, of course, lastly, please focus on the needs of other people. Forget about yourself for some specific moments. Today actually I lost my grandma, and I thought that I'm always meeting the people online on Sundays. Now, if I have to just quit, it will be it is possible, it is well excusable and everyone will understand. But somehow I felt it is also a responsibility to still perform the certain duties. And so that's why I'm here today, because I had your interest at heart. Okay, now time for questions. Let me pick up the question from Joyce Yamin. Joyce Yamin, you're welcome. Hope you're doing well. And Joyce Yamin says, how can the customer be the one to invest in your business? Now, Joyce, let me take the example of I took the example of a Thermomix, but you were not there maybe. But let me take the example of a sport machine, where you have to do sports to lose some weight. Okay, so you get a machine, you ask for maybe the producer, and it means that you must be trustworthy, you must be communicative, you must know how to also convince the producer. You beg him, remember the principles we just spoke about, asking. You beg him to give you one machine. He gives you one machine. That one machine is a one machine that you can use to exhibit every other machine. So now that one machine you're having, you're going to use to show the people why it's important for them to have machine, why it is important for them to do the sport. You explain the benefits of that sports machine to your customers. So everyone who comes in there, you explain, right? Now, when you explain to the people, what happens is they're interested. They're interested to have a machine like that one, because you have convinced them how important the machine could be. Is that so? Yes. Now, the customer comes and is convinced and says, oh, I really need this machine. What do? You tell the customer, yes, ma'am, I have these machines in store. How? You already have a producer. Remember, you've done your homework already. So you have a producer already who is producing those machines, and that you already had one from him. Okay. So you write down the name of the customer and you tell your customer, it cost me $300, for example, 300 euros, right? And you're going to come in 3 weeks to get your machine, or 2 weeks to get your machine. Okay. Now the customer has paid for his machine, but you don't yet have the machine because you don't have the machine there. But the customer is not aware that you don't have the machine in store, right? Now, it's not the business of the customer to say the machine should be in store for you to be able to buy. Is that true? Yes. So the machine is at the producer center with the producer, and you still have to net connect with him to get the machine come to you. Now you have 10 people who order the machines. Are you following, Joyce? You have 10 people who order the machine. Now they have paid in advance. Most of the time, some can pay half of the money, some can pay all of the money, and then they are coming on a specific day to collect their product or to collect their machine. Okay? Now, you now take that money and then you purchase the machine from your producer, and then they come that specific day and collect their product. Of course, it takes a lot of trust, it takes a lot of confidence, and of course, it takes a lot of communication skills. Now, who has financed this project? It was not your money. The customer bought his machine pre ahead of time. That's what we call pre-selling. You sell the product is not yet with you, but you sell the product that will come in maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, right? And the customer just need to know my product is coming in 2 weeks or in 3 weeks. Okay, so now he pays for that money and then he gets his product. Okay, that's one of the ways, and actually one of the smartest ways that many people do today. And of course, unfortunately, many of us still do not make use of that kind of systems. Okay, personally, I could do programs, trainings without asking for any fees. Why? Because most of the time, my clients do not pay. Why? Because I have already applied for their funding into my project. Okay, so they don't have to pay any money most of the time, depending on which of the program. Okay, so I hope that you understand this. And so when the customer has paid their money, that you can now send, they can come on that specific date that you have given to them to come collect their product. Okay, so now they gain trust. When they gain trust, what happened? They go and tell other people, and other people, that is by word referral, right? People tell other people, and so they come again and order. Now, when they come order, you do the same thing. By this time, you have money already in your account, so you can still buy the goods. But usually, some goods you don't really have to have it in your store. You can just let people order, and then you can command it to come to them. It's good. You got it now, Joyce? I hope you did. So, but now, how is this possible? This is only possible if you have the right mindset. Now, when you go into business, many things are involved in business. Many things. Business is not just buying and selling. Business is not just offering services to people like we think. It involves a lot of things, a lot of emotions, a lot of, like I said before, taking the needs of others more serious than your own needs, putting other people's priority before your own. That's business actually. And if you want to succeed anywhere in any business that you do, right? So we are not wanting to be like people. So, well, if he wants to come to my shop, he comes like most Africans do, right? Well, I don't need him. Oh, then you can't be rich, my friend. Then you can't get money. I've seen people that drive their customers with their own very mouth. And then they say, well, if you're the only customer on earth, then don't come again. What you forget is that one customer that you sent ruthlessly away is equivalent to almost 200 people you have sent, because it goes like wildfire and they spread it around. Okay, so that's why, yes, if it pleases you or not, the customer and the client remain the king and the queen. If you are not liking, if you don't like it and you don't like the deal, don't get into business. But if you want to get into business, then make sure you have a business mindset, business of abundance. A business mindset is that mind that takes note of the needs of the other people, put the value of the other people, see the other people more important, because at the end of the day, the other people, these people have to buy your product. If you have a product or a services and people do not buy, you have no money. And if you have no money, you're bankrupt. Business fails. But the question is, why did business fail? Maybe you overput yourself in front. Maybe this is time for you to put yourself behind and take charge, take active care of the client and the other people. It is unfortunately, but this is the fact. Every human being somehow are desiring to have a kind of um, approval, a kind of respect, love, attention, somehow. And therefore, the way to win the heart of a customer and of a business person is not about you, but it's about him. So check if you're meeting the needs of the attention and respect. Once you're giving that to them, then you can sell your business and you can sell your product, right? And now, this one is so important. Attitude. Attitude. Your attitude will lead you to your altitude, to the how far you will go. Many of us don't even have the money, don't have the attitude, don't have the mindset, don't have the brain, and yet we want to do business. Ouch, there's a lot of work to do. There's a lot of work to do. And it starts by the recognition of the fact that there's something I do not know. If you have been doing business over and over, things over and over, and you're not moving, things are not really getting where you want to get, please find out, what don't you know? But many of us are not ready to find out what we don't know. We stay on the one single point: money, money, money is the problem. No, money is not the problem. I won't even give you my money if I don't trust you. Now, let's take an example of a young lady when I went to Cameroon last year for the master's class. I keep telling this example because she made me understand and even change my way of supporting people. Now, a young woman who learned to do pedicure, manicure, and face cure, all the things of the face. And she comes to me and attends the master's class, by the way, also for almost for free. And she finished her master's class, and the people approve of her. The jury say, okay, well, her business is a good one, we can fund the business. And we released to this lady practically almost 3 million francs CFA, which is an approximately 2,000 something euros. I can't really tell. Now, she takes this money in the space of 6 months. I don't know if this corona just meant good or evil for her. She takes this money, actually looks for the right apartment that we said. We looked for the right apartment that was supposed to be spacious so that she could have students come to learn from her. And when students learn from her, she's going to become a trainer. Now, I'm going to take you to the next level. The one number one business, people don't just buy because you say, oh, buy my product. No, people buy the content. People buy how you explain how important it is to them. So that's why I think training is important instrument if you really want people to buy your product. And therefore, I encourage this young woman, and we told, look for a very big place. And our intention was that a high category of people will come to that house shop, right? And then secondly, our intention was we're going to train young people in professional schools. All this well written down on a contract. You know, it wasn't 6 months. I'm sure she said, wait a minute, what am I doing with a big house? Then decided to start living in that house, decided to bring her own boyfriend into it, and transform the place finally into, I don't know what word to use, but she breached the contract. Now, two things could happen, or three. I could sue her to court. We have a contract, and she'll go to court, and then maybe she will land in prison. Or again, but if she goes to prison, what good would that have served me? Okay. Now, another thing would be, we could say, work again on your identity, work on your personality, but the trust has been broken. It will mean that to rebuild that trust in me for her will take decades, right? So you see, this was someone who had all the privileges, all the opportunities. And later, after 6 months, she had the audacity to say that, well, the business is in her head, meaning that she did not even have remorse of what she did. And that's how many people are. That's how you are. Usually, you have no remorse. Usually, you do not think further than your nose. Usually, we just see that which we are seeing now, but we forget. What about 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? Today, thank God she did what she did, that we have become even more strict, even in our project. We did the last master's class, and we are still watching and watching to see how far the people will go. Why? Because we learned our lessons the hard way. Again, attitude will take you very far. This lady had only a few things to do. She would have said, oh, ma'am, I'm very sorry. I breached the contract. I breached our relationship. I betrayed our relationship and trust you had for me because I gave her all the money anyway. I would have said, no, I'll give you bit by bit and part by part. But no, I decided because I wanted her to have it easy. I gave it all to her, right? Now, she would have said, "Ma'am, I'm sorry, I misbehaved." No, it's practically not possible when your mind is too small to believe that you are wrong. It's practically impossible to even accept that you are wrong, right? And so that's why the business mindset is so important. And it means self development, self growth, recognizing that we have to learn every day, every day, and every day, right? And once we learn every day and every day and every day, be sure that you are going to make and meet the right people. Remember, lot of money is out there. Many people are out there. Many people are out there with lot of money. They are just waiting the right kind of business with the right kind of attitude to invest in. So you see, you do not always need money to start your own business. All you need is the right attitude, the right network, the right in-depth knowledge, and the right knowledge. And this takes me for me, and that's what has worked for me. Um, and what I have created this time as my personal success um, story or success secret is getting in-depth knowledge. Now that is IK, in-depth knowledge, in-depth knowledge in everything. Now, if you want to enter into the social work business, then get in-depth knowledge of social works, get in-depth knowledge of the people around who are doing social work, get in-depth knowledge of um, everything about social work. And of course, the next one would be also having an inspired character or image. Your behavior, your character, your attitude should be able to attract people to say, I want to invest in this person's business. And you don't have to give, there are many investment tools, and you do not even have to give a dime back, right? There are many people who are ready to invest, want to work with you 3 years, 4 years, and you do not have to pay back. Then sell the business, you get your own million, he gets his own million, and life continues, right? But for that, you need to have character that are transformed character or inspired characters, right? Character of integrity, work attitude, behaviors that are cultured, right? And of course, you need also to have innovative actions. So when you come with an idea, and then maybe the founder, the person who's going to sponsor your idea, looks into it and say, I would like you to remove your G, your K, your L, and your Y. Don't say, oh, no, it's my business. And so it's my head, and the business is in my head, and therefore I can't remove K, Y, W, and Z. Oh, good. Then stay with your K, W, Z, and Y, and then go and find another person to invest, right? But if B says to move your K, W, Y, and Z, you only have to ask the question, how detrimental is K, W, Y, and Z? As long as it is not detrimental, not for you, it's never about you, right? The business was never about you, it was about other people. Therefore, the focus is not on you, on others, right? And as long as others are involved and not you, think neutrally, see neutrally, reflect neutrally, so that you don't get involved and put in all your emotions that can destroy the right people to come and fund and support your business. Okay, so you see, we don't always need money to start up a business. You just need the right strategy, the right people around you, the right mindset, the right attitude, and of course, your business can start. Hey, thank you so very much for being here. I'm seeing you all. I'm seeing you, Elvis. Thank you for watching from Cameroon. I'm seeing you, Mary DeGaro. Thank you so much. See you, Sherry. I'm seeing you all, Joyce. Thank you, Gertrude. Thank you for being here. It's such a nice time with you. And I felt like today I should share with you how to start up your own business without having money. Or practically, the fund is not coming from your own pocket. And it takes only four things, right? What were the four things? Joyce, if you're still listening, what are the four things it takes? Now, one, it takes the ability to ask. Ask without shame because we all are beggars. Two, it takes the right mindset. Have a business mindset, knowing that the business is a business, but not about you, about customers, about other people. Three, have the right network, the right relationships. Don't buy everything with money. Let your relationships produce some things for you, give some things for you, give you some of the product so you can sell and give the money after, right? And then, of course, lastly, your character. If you have an inspired character, a good character, you will be able to start up any business even without your money. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. If you do not have any questions, then we're going to meet again next week, same time as I go to mourn my grandma. But I thought of you today and thought it would be good to share this time with you. Have a nice evening and God bless you. Take care of yourself. Bye bye.